Awesome. Hello. If you're actually watching this, probably not right now, because I have 0 concurrent viewers. But if you end up watching one of the future ones, good morning, or watching this later, good whatever time it is for you. I have a lot more hair since the last time I streamed, and a lot better quality, because I got a LAN cable. Hopefully there aren't any hiccups on this one. I'm running it all off my computer, so it might get kind of laggy as I open more programs. Let's see, I got a second view right here. Right around here I've got a little Dell PC, so hopefully, there we go. We got a little Dell PC right here. So today I hope to connect my cameras and mic, which you see I don't have, to that computer, so that hopefully it won't do that, and I can just open up everything if I want to use Adobe Dimension for some images, if I want to do some artwork or Photoshop or something. I won't have to worry about overloading my computer. Other than that, I actually might get up in a minute to go grab a charger for my headphones, because they're dead. Well, almost. I might. Today, I think I'm mostly going to be working on mescaline. Almost done with that chapter, so that's good. If you hear any weird noises, it's probably my dog. He's behind me, or my girlfriend, who's also behind me over here. She's doing some studying. You're doing anatomy today?
Yes.
She's doing anatomy today. And then, are you just focusing on that, or you're going to do chemistry too?
Also chemistry.
Also chemistry. So that sucks. But I got her kicking and screaming out of the bed.
No.
To do her homework. And she's good about it. Unless anyone shows up, this is literally just going to be me staring at a computer. I might pop in a view up there in order to, I don't know, make it a little bit more engaging. But overall, it's just kind of, if you're going to be studying, you could put this on in the background just to have someone alongside you. Alright. Average watch time. Who's watching? Average watch time is 10 seconds? Sick. Let's see in OBS how this looks. Not great. Let's see if these got any charge. My computer is having a hard time handling this. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, well, definitely gonna have to hook up to the second computer for streaming. Might only do this one for about an hour since no one's in. Maybe even less, maybe 30 minutes. But this is kind of what you can expect. Me sitting here. If you show up, it'll be more engaging. I'll chat with you. Have any questions about the book, about psychedelics, or literally just want to chat about anything. It's 6, no one's awake, so I don't really have anyone else to talk with. Since she's studying. But once I get that set up, I should be running smoother. I can do cool stuff. We can chat. I can make the artwork too. But right now I'm typing and it's bad. Alright, I just typed out the Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as you continue. And all it got was the Fitness Gram Pack aerobic capacity test gets more difficult. Maybe I need to get the new M1 Pro MacBook. The problem with that is I hook everything up to an absolute mess of cables that you can't see on either of my views. Just right over here, under actually, here, let me do a little quick. I got this monitor, and then I got an ultra wide right here that's hooked up to that PC. That's hooked up to my 3D printers in there, which are also pretty sick. But right there, like right off screen, I've got 2 big ol' USB hubs and a bunch of stuff attached to it. And with the M1 Max, if you plug in a third-party USB hub, you're pretty much guaranteeing that you're gonna brick it. So that's great. I don't know if that applies to the new Pros, but if it does, I don't want to trash $2 to $3 grand because I had to plug in my monitors. And it has one HDMI output, but I got so used to a multi-monitor workflow that I can't really go back. Also, single monitor just sucks in the first place. Right now, I'm going over the data that I collected in the surveys. I released surveys last year, asking people to rate the intensity of different psychedelic effects, the pleasantness, confusion, visuals, anxiety, euphoria, loss of ego, sexual excitation, and introspection. And I'm just going through those and providing my analysis on them and why I think, you know, for example, mescaline is more euphoric than others. Why it might not have the same sexual excitation rating as even LSD, as surprising as that is, given it's a phenethylamine, and you have like MDMA and stuff in that realm. I mean, it's crazy because 2CB is literally an aphrodisiac at low doses. So it's just interesting that mescaline doesn't really have that component. I guess this psychedelia overwhelms that, and you just get too lost in the headspace. Oh, so happy Halloween. How'd that slip my mind? So far, this chapter is a little bit shorter than I would like it to be, and I think it overall will end up being shorter. The depth I go into the history is more of an overall view. I don't want to go too in detail on anything because once I start doing that, you end up just having to write a whole book, which is fine. It's just not what I'm going for right now. I'm aiming at the audience who doesn't know anything about psychedelics and is just doing I want this to be their first book, and the first book that they think to pick up and that gets recommended to them, just, oh, I don't know anything about psychedelics, but my state is voting on whether or not to legalize them. Oh, here, hand them the book, and then they can read through it and make a actually educated decision, hopefully. So I don't want it to be too overwhelming. I mean, even within the psychedelic space, with people who are already fans, like Pikal, Shulgin's book. I mean, how long is it? 900? I mean, including, I guess that doesn't really count. 920 or so pages. And people see this and they're like, whoa. Nope. Not even. And that's people who are into psychedelics already and who know who Shulgin is and the incredible impact he's had on the entire world. But it's really nothing to be afraid of. If you look at the back section first, you're screwed, because it does look scary. It's a bunch of synthesis instructions, which in and of itself is incredible that he just included that right off the bat. And then some interesting notes on qualitative effects. But the first 2/3 or so is the story of him and his wife and his journey from childhood onward. And then I don't have a physical copy of it, but Mescaline, A Global History of the World's First Psychedelic, is another great book. And that's another big source of mine for this. But I don't want to go into that level of detail because the chapter is just going to explode in length. It also doesn't have as much preliminary information in it. DMT, the DMT chapter's almost 10,000 words longer than this one. And a large part of that is because it is the first chapter, and so I'm establishing a lot of the terms and just general information about psychedelics, and also DMT's on a whole nother level. And then psilocybin is also very long. I think it's 21,000 words. LSD might be at 18. And then Ibogaine's going to be the shortest chapter. It's probably only going to hit 13,000 words or so. There just isn't as much information on it. I found one book from the Psychedelic Symposium, I believe. It was released under, I believe, what was it? Oh, The Alkaloids, issue 56. Talks about Ibogaine. It's like 250 pages long. It's awesome. It's all the information I would need. Costs like $300, $200 to $300 for a hardcover, or I guess just any hard copy, and I can't find an ebook online anywhere. It's so annoying because I find issue 54, 55, 57, 58 just not the one I want. Something else I think is interesting about mescaline is that it's so unpopular. Most people don't really know what it is. They probably have heard of peyote just from popular culture references, but most people haven't tried it. Most people don't know when you say mescaline, they don't know what you're talking about. Even though it truly was the first psychedelic in that Huxley and Osmond were talking about it when they came up with the word, and it kickstarted the entire 60s. And I mean, we're here today because of mescaline, and yet, and I mean, it's not like the experience is bad either. It's not like Ibogaine, where Ibogaine has elements of dysphoria in it. It's actually more euphoric usually than other ones. And if you take the synthetic, it still induces more nausea typically than a similar level of tryptamine dose, but you're not purging like if you eat the actual flesh. So I don't know what has caused it to get that. Maybe it's because it's an amphetamine or like a phenethylamine. People might have a natural aversion to that. Maybe people are just like, oh, might as well just take MDMA. I have no idea. Or Candy Flip or something. But it's just so strange that it started everything and now it's just kind of faded into the background. Like there's one study, like there's one modern study coming out. They started in March 2020, or at least they announced it in March 2021. It's by MindMed, which is a psychedelic corporation hoping to open up. I mean, that's a whole can of worms. If anyone shows up on my other live streams and wants to talk about the corporatization of psychedelic treatments, more than happy to talk about that, because that's a whole huge thing. And just synthetics versus natural psychedelics, and I think a lot of people aren't talking about that outside of like the comment sections. I see it all the time. I'll look at some, I can't think of the specific account, but I'll look at just an account talking about psychedelics, and people are ragging on maps because they're like, oh, it's big pharma. They want to put like a, they want to quantify it. They want to. I'm like, no one's actually talking about it. I think I've seen Hamilton Morris talk about it in the context of Bufo alvarius once, but it's an overlying, not necessarily issue, but it's an overlying debate that needs to be had. I think, because there are a lot of misconceptions about the benefits of natural psychedelics versus synthetic ones, or vice versa, I think. I'm talking a little bit more than I probably would be if no one were engaging me, just because I literally can't even type. So usually I'll probably just be and reading stuff. But if someone wants to talk, I'll talk. Once I get it set up on the computer. Fingers crossed. I won't be able to do screen share, which kind of sucks, because I don't have a capture card, and I don't really think it's worth investing in just so you guys can see me like typing out my disgusting first draft. But a smoother stream that doesn't interfere with my ability to write would be great. And so yeah, I've added in the description too, but I'm going to be streaming Wednesday through Sunday, same time, 6 a.m. Central, and I don't know when it's going to end, just pretty much whenever I'm kind of done with my first little block for the day. And I'll probably be writing. I might be going through and doing some of the artwork when I need a break, because sometimes staring at the words just, I miss my misspelling of words that are already misspelled by Microsoft. And I just the quality of writing goes down significantly, and I don't want to do that. So I take a break, switch over to something a little bit less detailed, less text, and more artistic. Not that writing isn't artistic. I guess writing nonfiction isn't super artistic, but just something more creative to switch it up a bit. But yeah, it's been about 25 minutes. Still at no viewers, which I didn't expect anyone to show up. But given how laggy it's making my computer, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for showing up if you did after the stream. I'll try and see if I can add like, I don't know, an annotation or something. Maybe I'll just put it up on the description at the top, because I don't think anyone's going to watch a 25-minute video just to get to the end of this. But yeah, I'm going to start live streaming. Hope to see you guys in the future. I just find myself to be more productive in the morning, so that's why I start early. If people start showing up at 9, that's fine. I'll probably still be here. So yeah, I guess have a nice day or night, whatever it is there, and I hope to see you in the future.